but his career numbers just aren't spectacular. He's played in 32 career games. He's got a career rating of 81.2, which is decent. I'll give him that. 3 touchdowns and 29 interceptions. That's not going to get it done. And I think he wasn't the guy they should have been trading for, personally. Not when you've got the Browns who are saying, like, hey, let's get rid of Brady Quinn. We don't want him anymore. Just my opinion. So my number 3, and this was a big one, and this is, I have to say I kind of like this because there's room for either greatness or amusement. Either way, which is Chicago's trading for Jay Cutler, and we talked about it. We talked about it many times. I don't know if it'll work out. It could be spectacular, or it could be hilariously. I still think it's funny that they went down and gave all that. They gave up so much for him. It was ridiculous. But, hey, that's why I'm not a GM, right?
My number 3 was Gonzalez
and
the Falcons.
The only thing about that is I didn't think it was that big of a move at the time, Gonzalez. I really don't, but it means a lot to me. That's why I put it on my list.
I thought it was a pretty big move.
People forgot about it really fast. I think it's because it was right around the draft time or something.
We all know how the draft takes over everything.
Yeah, you've only been complaining about it since it happened.
Sorry.
Grumble, draft, grumble.
Anyway, you're number 2.
My number 2 was New England had 2 free agent signings I liked and loved. I liked them signing Sean Springs at cornerback, and I loved them signing Fred Taylor. Fred Taylor, despite what everybody thinks about New England, they had like the 6th best running game last year, and they've got a plethora of running backs, a bunch of guys that probably couldn't carry a team, but a bunch of guys that are situational guys, and Taylor's just going to be another one of them, and he's only going to help them out. And they haven't had somebody with speed up until him, really, and I think he can do a lot to help them. As far as Sean Springs goes, I'm just hopeful that he'll be able to teach some of their younger guys and maybe make some plays, because he's pretty old and he's been pretty injury prone.
New England was one of the first teams that kind of started and kind of jumped on and started the running back by committee kind of thing. And it really has taken over the NFL, and it really works.
Quick, name a team with one solid running back that only one guy carries the load.
I don't know. Is that the point?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, is that the point?
If I had to pick anybody, I'd say maybe Chicago with Matt Forte.
And that's still a stretch.
Or the Jets with Thomas Jones. Even that's a stretch because they have Leon Washington who takes his share.
I think the running back guy by committee is definitely taken over. And
usually they have the 2-headed attack, if not 3 or more.
Yeah.
The only one thing I want to say about this too is that on some level I don't like either of these picks, which is why I love them, because the way I figure it is since Belichick came to New England, when he makes a move, it doesn't make sense and it works. So if it doesn't make sense, chances are it's going to work. So I love it.
My number 2 was Matt Castle to the Chiefs.
Only number 2.
I think that they're going to win 7 games at least this year. I think I originally said 10, but I think I'm going to retract that a little bit.
You swung everywhere from 6 to 10.
Okay, well they're going to win. They're going to win more games than they won last year. How about that?
Yeah, I think the Lions are going to win more games this year than they won last year too. maybe the Rams as well.
So
the Rams are only going to win 1 game this year. Who we kidding?
So your number 1.
Use your head, people. Of course, it's Kansas City getting Castle. And actually, let's not forget, it was Kansas City traded a second-round draft pick to New England for Matt Castle and Mike Vrabel. Okay? They paid 60 cents for something that cost $1. You can't. I mean, Castle alone was probably worth more. To get Vrabel as well for only a second-round draft pick, that beats what Chicago did, because Chicago spent way more than that. Everybody apparently considers Castle to be a better quarterback than Cutler, because everybody wanted Castle, nobody wanted Cutler, except the Bears. And let me tell you right now, if you're an offense and the Bears want you, you're probably not that good. That's where, remember, Chicago is where receivers go to die. When was the last time they had a good quarterback? Running back's the only position that seems to be able to do well at all. So, I think by far this was the best move. I hope it ends up being a great move. It could fail. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. My number 1, can you guess?
It's got to be Chicago getting Cutler.
It is.
That's why I was already arguing against you, because I'm like, seriously? Cutler over Castle?
It is. It was fine. They're 1 and 1A. How about that?
There's no 1 and 1A. It is Kansas City getting Castle number 1. Once again, you made me look awesome in comparison to you.
Well, that's why I co-host the show with you, is to make you look awesome.
All right. You know what? That was great, because we have 5 minutes left, so it's time for the same old housekeeping as usual. We have some people to thank. As usual, I want to say again thanks to Mike Lotta for directing for us. He could not make it here this week, but he's been a lot of help. Thank you to Wabanzi Community College and Jamie Lara for helping us always set up, and Jamie is actually directing this week, and that's why I tried to put in a little bit of hockey for him, because he's a big hockey fan. Unfortunately, we couldn't do it justice.
Oh, I didn't know he was a big hockey fan.
Oh, yeah.
I shouldn't have said what I said.
He's a big hockey fan. And I'd also like to say thank you to FVTV for their continued support and airing the show, so that we're not just internet only, hopefully. We're also on some TV around the area. So you want to hit us up with the
definitely
the email and all that?
So remember that you can find us on iTunes. We are on the iTunes Store.
So if you're watching us,
or iTunes Store, site.
We are on the iTunes Store. iTunes is the program, so the iTunes Store. Search Racin and stuff.
Oh yeah, I was right then. Okay, yeah. Search. You can search Racin,
just like behind us,
RACIN and stuff. You can also find us on YouTube. We've got a YouTube page all set up. It's all fancy and looks all nice and everything. Yeah. It's youtube.com/Racin and stuff. Once again, no G in Racin.
We will try to update that more frequently. My apologies if you are trying to watch us on YouTube.
And then if you ever want to send us any comments, questions, concerns, emails,
praise, bribery
insults,
works as well.
Yeah. You can email us at racin and stuff, RACINN stuff @gmail.com. So there's lots of different ways to get a hold of us.
And I plan on setting up a PayPal account here soon, so that if you wish to bribe us, we accept small unmarked bills.
And
diecast collectible race cars. And
you can check us out on, if you're in the area.
If you're not watching us on FVTV, you can check us out in the western Chicago suburbs area, Aurora, North Aurora, not Sugar Grove.
There's a bunch of them.
Yeah, there's a bunch of places in the area. You can watch us on FVTV. We're hoping to maybe get a better our date moved around a little bit, but
there might be some format changes in the future. So stay tuned.
It's been a bit erratic, I know, but hopefully it'll be smoothed out soon, and we will have a consistent day for everybody. Said everything. Wow, we do this every week, and I still feel like we forget something.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I can't think of anything else.
What's going to happen is we're going to remember like a day later.
Oh, yeah, and next week, Sprint Cup race at Darlington.
Going to be a good race.
Hopefully, Mother's Day weekend, we'll give a shout out to the moms of the area. More NBA playoffs. We'll be getting closer to that.
We'll be in game 5 or 6 or so of the second of the semifinals.
Right on. Hopefully, Favre will do something crazy that we can talk about, and
maybe there'll be some crazy baseball news.
Maybe
I'll have gone to a game that they want.
Yeah, Schmayrod might be back by then.
Schmayrod.
Yeah. Somebody whose name rhymes with Schmayrod might be back by then, so maybe there will be something to say. I'll try not to, but if there is, we'll talk about it. So as usual, I'm Doug.
And I'm Chris.
We'll talk to you later.